back to enforcement because you kind of got distracted. You were
Oh,
starting to
you
talk
think?
about your campaign, litigation, or education through litigation.
Right.
I don't know if you had somewhere you were wanting to go, but I was curious about the criteria that you're using to select the students on campus. Is there a cutoff limit of if you download above this amount, you're receiving a notice of settlement, giving them the option to settle, or you will pursue litigation?
Okay, I won't go into much detail, but this is what happens. We search for works that are copyright is controlled by one of our member companies. I'll be careful with my I can speak in legal terms if you like, but I was trying to be, use the vernacular here, so you get it.
Please, explain that.
But now I forgot what I was saying. Ask your question again.
Basically, what criteria are you using
Okay,
to choose?
I can't tell you exactly. Well, if you have 8 songs, you'll get sued. If you have 7, it's not like that. This is what happens. We look on there, we find them, we download them to make sure that they're legitimate files. We use various technologies. You can imagine fingerprinting, hash marks, other things. Sometimes you give the listener to verify that it is in fact exactly what we think it is, and then we contact the rights holders and move forward with the notification to lawsuits. There is no difference in a court of law whether you have 1 song or 100 songs. There are some special cases of egregious. No, it's the same penalty. I mean, you're not going to get off because you only shoplift 1 CD, or as opposed to 10. The law is pretty much the same. Now, if you back up your truck, Tower Records and fill it up with CDs, the judge might have something different to say about that. It's no longer shoplifting.
I may be moving this in the wrong way, but how come Apple and their iPod isn't liable for a lawsuit, but I am?
For doing what exactly?
But giving me this, like you said yourself, there's no way I'm going to fill a 20 gig iPod without stealing
Okay,
music.
I want to look at the time. We have 31 minutes.
You can go as long as
Goes long as you want. I think we might have a meeting after this.
we do.
But it still goes on. Okay. Let me finish this part and try and address her issues. Hold your question. I'm not blowing you off. I just too many tangents at once. Just write it down, hold it, time over. Okay. There are a number of other things that we are looking at doing, just so many people is not the answer, obviously. In the early days of Napster, we found we'd go to the university campus or talk to students, and quite frankly, students, especially the younger K-12 students and their parents, they didn't know that what they were doing was, quote, wrong. And it was, it was a wild, wild west. It takes a while for education and awareness, but now I think what we have to focus on is trying to change behavior. We have to really let people know. And this is not just about music. This is about identity theft. It's about MySpace. It's about cyber stalking. It's about all this shit that's happening right now. You guys are right in the middle of it. I mean, I see it from the outside. And this is just one of those things. The world has changed. Technology changed faster than education and the laws and other things. And we have to deal with it. And the laws will change. I mean, somebody's comment about the Supreme Court. It's a legitimate comment, I think. But in the end, I think that the laws and courts are reasonable enough. They will figure it out. Let me go through this. If you have a pencil, write down the question, because I will get to it. I'm not worried. I talked a lot about doom and gloom, but I really think that the music industry is on the verge of a big change. Obviously, it's in the middle of a big change. And whether it's the current major record companies, whether it's the independent labels that are putting out, quote, the music you want to download, their economics are going to be very similar. And piracy is going to disable them, is going to undermine their efforts to, and we don't want to see that. We want to see universities and corporations and everybody else start to implement best practices. One of the things that we see encouraging on campuses is self-monitoring and enforcement and disciplinary procedures and all these things that you see. You get caught, you have to do this. What happens if you get caught on the university network downloading, and you've got a DMCA notice here, what would happen? I've actually ready to accept the use policy, but I want to see what it is. Anybody know?
I don't know anybody who would download on our network.
Excellent, excellent answer. So, it probably would be a freshman, it probably only happened once, and I suspect that if they get some slap on the wrist, that they would be then smart enough to not use the university network. And that's why, as much as people are talking about using blocking and filtering other technologies on university networks, and I think that's fine. You can do that too, if the university so chooses. There's not really a strong argument for legitimate uses of the areas of non-wire. It just slows down the network. You can block it, let people do what they do off campus. But what we'd really like to do is like to see people's behavior change and understand the ramifications of music piracy. If you get music from a band that you like and don't pay for it, you are taking money out of their pocket. It doesn't matter how you think of it. If the technical ability was not there for you to get it for free, and you would have otherwise purchased it, that is money you would have. And you can say it's theoretical, but it's also common sense.
I'm on a budget, and there's no way I'm going to be spending money left and right, so they weren't getting my money in the first place. Like, I really only have enough money to buy like one CD a month. So if I'm downloading all these extra CDs, are they really losing money? Because that was never going to buy it.
You're justifying your stealing.
Yeah. I only have enough money to buy the Ray-Ban, but I really want the more expensive sunglasses. So if I just do $100 and take the 300 glasses, that's okay, kind of an argument. It's not quite. I understand where you're going. I've heard the argument before, but it's not quite right. What you should do is, you apply common sense. You should not steal it. You know what? I'm just going to look at my notes to see if there's anything else that's really important. We're working on all kinds of educational stuff. The universities always say they inherit the problem. The university administrators say that they inherit the problem. And then by the time you guys get here, you're all experienced downloaders, and there's not much they can do about it. And we're working on that. We're trying to educate younger kids and so on. But I was going to talk about how the new distribution models are changing music companies. And I will do this very quickly, in 3 minutes. In the old days, the A&R people used to get a mixtape or a CDR, and they would hear something, they'd like it, they'd go see the band live, and they would record something, and eventually, if they decided to sign a release, then they put that. There are obviously new ways to discover artists. There's everything from American Idol to YouTube. We've got artist websites, we've got fan sites, we've got blogs. The A&R people still have to go to the shows to see if the artists have stage presence and other things. But what used to be a demo CD that would get you in the door is very often now, because it's produced so well, people with Macs and Soundboard and Pro Tools and everything else are making products that, in some cases, they sign a distribution deal for. Again, the music industry as a whole, we're still 10, 12, 13%, whatever our revenue is from downloads. So if you are an artist, you can't expect to maximize your revenue by just going on the internet, even selling CDs. So it would be nice to get physical distribution if you can, and so that's happening. We're beginning to see electronic-only releases sold exclusively downloads. And we're even beginning to see people dabble in e-labels, both indie and associated with the major labels, signing download-only artists, signing single deals instead of album deals. And all of these things are as a result of how it is changing. But the underlying fact is, if you want to find, filter, and produce, promote, subsidize touring, and all the other things it takes to break major artists, it costs a lot of money. And piracy is taking away a lot of that money. And artists are suffering. Half as many young artists are getting record deals as used to get.